Hello everyone, welcome to the Beer Garden. Along with myself, Sarah, Steve, and Joe, we will be talking about the night race card at Happy Valley on this Wednesday. However, we now in Hong Kong is expecting a stormy weather this week, starting from Wednesday. Actually, now it is still raining outside, so the ground will be a bit wet on Wednesday. So, however, we are now using the sand mesh turf tracks, which provides an effective drainage. So the going will be like, I guess, will be good to yielding, but it will keep raining during the races, so we should be pay attention to that. So the first race we are going to talk about will be the first leg of the triple trio. It will be race 5, class 4 over 1,000 meters. Let me start with Sarah. Who do you like in race 5?
I'm going with 10, Gorgeous Fatality with Pertin aboard. This horse is just, since he's come to Hong Kong, he's hit the ground running impressively every time. Each race, he seems to get a bit better and a bit better. And coming off of his last race where he had a really nice and fairly narrow third placing there, I think we're going to see another improvement yet again. He did run in March when we had a rather yielding course as well, and he didn't perform all that bad. So hopefully if the course is possibly going to be yielding, this horse has the experience here. There's a lot of early speed in this race, which is a little bit concerning with him, but he has good form. He should be able to get out and get to the front fairly easy.
Yes, the pace will be quite fast in race 5. So Sarah's selection, number 10, Gorgeous Fatality, ridden by Zach Burton, again, is quite an honest back marker. How about you, Steve? Who is your pick in race 5?
I decided to take a chance on Hero Star, drawn best of all, drawn 1 under Derek Lung. So much pace on in this race, isn't there? The likes of Viva Mama and Kowloon East Star will probably try and go out fast as well. And I just think that it might set up for Hero Star. Derek Lung showed how good a tactical brain he has at Happy Valley on Wednesday, because he rode the David O'Sullivan horse Vukan to victory from gate 14, and he said before the race he'd try and find it. He had an idea that he would find a nice slot to get in, and he actually achieved that. He really thought about the race, hoping he might do the same here with Hero Star. He's had 29 runs. All 29 runs have been over the 1,200 meters, and he's been running well. He just hasn't been getting home in the final stretch, and it's possible he has lots of bags of pace, but Derek Lung, he might just sit behind the main players. He might just sit behind the Trailblazers and maybe sit in the box seat, 3rd or 4th, just wait, bide his time. And then when they have sort of finished their race off, he might just come through with a withering run. That's the idea anyway, certainly. Hopefully he can just sit and stalk the pace from his good draw. Lots of good chances, Gorgeous Vitality, Pretty Queen Prawn and Leslie, of course. But maybe Hero Star can come good and win again back over this trip for the first time.
Right, number 11, Hero Star, jumping from gate 1. He can stay in a great position just after the leader. So it is quite interesting to see him going back to 1,000 meters for on Wednesday. And Joe, who do you like in race 5?
Race 5, I actually went down the bottom, number 12, Viva Mama. Look, the last 3 races over the 1,000 meters in class 5 have been really good. First, and a second with those 3 at a good price. So now you're gonna get even better price with Viva Mama at about $12 or so. I know he's gonna be he is gonna be one of the leaders. Maybe if he shakes loose on the lead and gets it to himself with no weight on his back, he should be okay. Karastine actually had, I think, a really good day on Shot 10 last couple days ago. So yeah, I mean, I know with the pace, there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be 3 of them up front, possibly according to the speed map, but with no weight and getting a decent price, I probably would take a chance with Viva Mama in the triple trio. So number 12, Viva Mama for me.
Yes, the last time winner, number 12, Fifa Mama, he is expected to be one of the leaders in the field, but he's quite consistent with good gate speed. And for me, I will select a back marker. I like number 7, Famos. As we just discussed that in race 5, we believe that the pace will be quite fast here. And Famos, he showed that he has the ability to chase well over the good to yielding course on the start before. And this time he will be still ridden by Anton Hamlin, and jumping from gates 10 will not be a big concern for him because he used and he likes to staying at the back. And I will be looking forward to him to show some great acceleration in the home straight. I think that he is adapting to the new environment in Hong Kong quite well in this season. As a 4-year-old, I believe that he is still have some chance to improve. And I just checked his recent track work in the morning. He is doing quite well, and I think that he is quite fit, and maybe he is ready for winning on Wednesday. So to sum up race 5, number 10, Gorgeous Fatality for Sara, and number 11, Hero Star for Steve, number 12, Fifa Mama for Joe, and number 7, Famous for me. And the second leg of the triple trio will be race 6. It is class 4 over 1200 meters. Sarah, who do you like in race 6?
I like the 3 Kokoshimo here with Bedell aboard. My biggest red flag though with him is the wide barrier draw. He's just jumping out of barrier 11, but he's been improving a lot over the course and the distance. But I feel like he can get that, quickly out of the gate and get towards the lead. The good news is with his draw is that there's not a lot of speed breaking around him. So hopefully he can get out really nicely and get his position. I do feel like Bingo is going to be one of the horses he might knock heads with. I feel like Bingo, all the horses in this field got the best draw to suit him. But Kokoshimo has been performing quite nicely and coming off of a really nice barrier trial where he did race against another pick of mine in the next leg. But if you look back at all of his performances, he just seems to progress. And he had a really nice win in March, second placing in April, where he just ran into a little bit of trouble, but was still able to prevail and have a nice placing there. So I'm going to take my chance here. I think that the biggest thing that's going to help him is there's just not a lot of speed breaking around him.
Yes, number 3, Kokoshimo. So if you know Japanese or if you like playing mahjong, you must love Kokoshimo. But he, as a horse here, he is doing quite well in Hong Kong. As a 3-year-old, he is progressing quite well and then improving race by race. So this time, jumping from gate 11, he can have some better price for him. And Steve, do you prefer any outsider in race 6?
Yes, I chose Happy Gathering, number 9, as my value bet as well. He's won from 13 and he won 5 starts back on his 9th start. And I actually thought he'd probably rack up maybe a couple of wins more, but he hasn't really gone on. He hasn't really kicked on as I expected. And but who do you call when you want the horse to kick on? Joe Moreira in fantastic form, a hat-trick of wins at Happy Valley on Sunday. Sorry, at Charene on Sunday. So every chance, and it's a Manfred Mann horse once again, because I already tipped Manfred Mann to win in race number 5 with Hero Star. So hoping that Happy Gathering from stall 7, gate 7, which is fine, can make his win his for the second time at Happy Valley in race number 6.
Yes, so Steve's battle bet, race 6, number 9, Happy Gathering. It is interesting to see that Joe Moreira will be riding him. And this time, I think that removing the blinkers can also be helpful for him to achieve some breakthrough on Wednesday. And Joe, how about you? Who will you go for in race 6?
Oh, race 6, I actually went for the debutante Rainbow number 4 with Blake Shin. His trials have been pretty good for the last, actually, he hasn't gotten below a second in all of his trials. And you look at one of the trials that he's had with the one with Blake Shin, so his last one, winning time was 1.12. Pretty good for 1200 meters considering it is a trial and they don't really run them that hard. So the other trial at Trung Fa, the all-weather, had a win as well. Second at Trung Fa again, but Blake Shin retains the ride after winning on the trial with him. Yeah, I mean, he looks like he could show potential in this race. Especially since it is a somewhat competitive class 4. So it might be a little bit difficult for him, but with the draw, Blake Shin, and keeping the ride and all the trials, there could be a little promise for the 3-year-old. So I'm going to take a chance with Rainbow. You're going to get about $6.90. So he's about one of the favorites, maybe the 3rd or 4th favorite in the race. So the unraced runner, Rainbow, for me with Blake Shin.
Yes, he's one of the favorites in the field. Number 4, E Rainbow. Previous to his debut, he had 5 very trials. I think that he's improving one by one, and this time he can definitely take advantage of the good draw. Gates 2 will be quite ideal for a debutant or for at Happy Valley. And for me, I will also go for some outsider. I have my value bet number 7, Yichong Warrior, because he is just back from Chongfa, and after a 2-month spell, I think that he is now quite fit recently. He didn't have any very trial over there, but I think that his gallop or at Chongfa, the uphill track is was quite impressive. And then this time he will be stepping back to 1200 meters. And I still remember that on his seasonal debut on this season, Yichong Warrior chased quite well over 1200 meters under Matthew Poon. And then this time he will be ridden by Luke Curry, who is having quite good results recently. And then also jumping from gates 3 will be quite good for Yichong Warrior. So I believe that he now has the freshness to race after a 2-month spell, and I will be quite looking forward to him. And I take him as my value bet, number 7, Yichong Warrior. So to recap race 6, our selections include Sara, number 3, Kokoshimo, and for Steve, his value bet here will be number 9, Happy Gathering, and number 4, E Rainbow for Joe. And I also have my value bet here, that is number 7, Yichong Warrior. So let's jump to the final leg of the triple trio. Race 7, it will be class 3 over another distance, 1800 meters. Sarah, who do you like in race 7?
I like the 6 here, Nearly Fine, with Moreira sticking aboard. Like I mentioned with my pick in the last race, Nearly Fine won his barrier trial at the 1700 meter, where Kokoshimo got 3rd in that. But Nearly Fine is a horse. He just seems to improve each time he's out. Now he's jumping up in class, so he does get that weight break and really trying out the 1800 meters for the first time. But with his form, and you see even with his gallop out, the at a distance, he's going to take to it real nicely. He's a consistent horse. And I think, with the competition here in this field, he's going to be able to get a really nice position to close and hopefully get across the finish line first.
Yes, the last time winner, number 6, Nearly Fine, is now up to class 3 and then still ridden by Joe Moreira. Steve, do you also like him as well?
Yes, I do. You never know with these races, especially with the rain, think something might go wrong. But I think he looks the percentage call Nearly Fine, a nice improving horse. He's only at 12 runs, of course, won for the first time last time. And he's up to class 3. And he's already had 5 tries at class 3 and failed each time. But he had those class 3. He tackled 5 class 3s in his first 6 races. So maybe he was just sort of acclimatizing and getting better. His last 6 runs have all been class 4. So maybe it's time now, after a dozen runs, that he's able to improve and build up and find the necessary improvement to win at class 3. And also, as Sarah says, maybe he'll eke out a bit more improvement over this extra 150 meters too. So for me, yeah, Joe Moreira, Nearly Fine, gate 6, number 6.
Yeah, so Sarah and Steve will also go for number 6, Nearly Fine. Nearly Fine. I think that this time he will be carrying just 119 pounds, which will be quite favorable for him to score a back-to-back win. And Joe, how about you? Who will you select in race 7?
I went for number 7, Game Player Times. He's had a lot of prior to coming to Hong Kong, he was from Brazil, and he has actually some heavy form, especially winning a G1 in Brazil on the heavy track. He came to Hong Kong and then was sticking around class 3 for a while, and then now he dropped down to class 4, but then, he's still in class 3. He never went down to class 4. So he's actually he did go to class 4 and he won. So now he's back to class 3. I just think that with him, he'll sit off the pace a little bit and try to make a run on the straight here. He does have that soft form that we're kind of expecting with the rain, and he was mostly racing on the all-weather for most of his career at Sha Tin. But once he went to Happy Valley, it seems like he turned a corner somehow in the last 3 races that he's been. He's got a 2nd, a 3rd, and then an 8th. But then the prior 2 races were actually pretty good. So I think for a value price, you're going to get about 7.1. So I think with that, I think that would be a pretty good value play for here in this race, especially since it is a somewhat competitive class 3 race with Dr. Winning and Nearly Fine and Ready Player One and Savvy Kingman, Darcy Joy. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the number 7 Game Player Time.
Yes, I agree with you, Joe. I will also go for number 7, Game Player Times. Joe just mentioned a lot about this, the advantage of this horse, and I think that his win over the all-weather track at the beginning of this season was quite impressive. And recently, on his last 2 starts over 1650 at Happy Valley, this horse also showed that he is still capable for winning at Happy Valley, and this time going up to 1800 meters, which will be a more suitable distance for him. And of course, if the ground tomorrow will be a bit softer, it will be also quite favorable for him. And obviously, the partnership Lau Hewison and Douglas White is having quite good results recently, and then this time game player times will be jumping from a good draw gates 4, which enables him to stay in a great position just just behind the leader. So he is also be my pick. So in race 7, we select 2 horses among us. For Sarah and Steve, they like number 6, Nearly Fine, and Joe and myself will go for number 7, Game Player Times. So after our triple trio selections, let's talk about our best bets on Wednesday at Happy Valley. Sarah, who will be your best bet?
Mine comes in at race 9, which is a class 3 over 1200 meters, and probably the most obvious pick in this field. But I went with him anyways, and that's the 2 Lucky Sweetness. It's jumping out of barrier 5. I mean, this horse, ever since he started racing, has just continued to wow everybody. Each time he comes out, whether it be a good track or a yielding track or even a soft track, see if he can get his 4th win. Is he going to continue his undefeated streak? I really don't see how he could not in this field. He's going to get right up. He's going to get to that lead and going to sit perfectly. Purton knows this horse in and out. It's going to drive this horse to a really nice ride. Like I said, it's the most obvious, so you're not going to get the greatest value. And actually looking, I think he's probably the only horse in the field right now whose odds are under 10. So there's a lot of higher odds in this field. But I mean, can he remain undefeated? I hope so. I think so. So I'm sticking with him. That's 2 Lucky Sweetness in race 9.
Yes, I agree. Sarah's best bet will be number 2, Lucky Sweetness in race 9. He's unbeaten, and I think that this 3-year-old is quite impressive. And then I quite like his preparation because prior to this race, he had an impressive barrier trial, and I'm quite looking forward to him. So hopefully we can see him to remain unbeaten on Wednesday. And Steve, who will be your best bet on Wednesday?
I thought I'd go for race 1. Not often I go to a class 5 for a best bet, but I took a chance with number 5, Jolly Forever, drawn 8, reunited with Matthew Chadwick. He's a nice horse. He trained early in his career. He was with Casper Founds, and then last year he switched to Chris So, and he's been in pretty good form this season. This is his best course and distance, the Happy Valley 2200 meters. He won this season at that trip. And then on his penultimate start, Matthew Chadwick was aboard when he finished next second to Sky Gem. And then last time, he probably wasn't suited dropping back in trip to the 1800 at Charene with Matthew Poon. So you reunited with Matthew Chadwick. I think from a decent draw, I think Jolly Forever can get back on the winning trail in the opener.
Yes, so Steve's best bet will be in the opener, number 5, Jolly Forever. I think that he is quite a good stayer, and he always look for a longer distance in Hong Kong. So 2200 meters will be quite suitable for him, and it is good to see that Matthew Chadwick will be on board again. And Joe, how about you? Who will be your best bet?
Best bets in race number 4. I took number 7, Winning Icy, with Alfie Chan taking off the 2.5 kilos, originally 59. I think the last 2 runs were the last 2 third place runs that he's had. It wasn't too far off with about 1.4 lengths and 2 lengths. So he's going to run on late. I think that with now that a change of jockey, he was riding with Luke Ferraris, and now Alfie Chan takes some of the weight off. I think he'll make a better run for it. Maybe not put him into so much traffic in the race. He'll come like from mid pack and try to sweep him in on the turn. 3-year-old, not really that competitive of a class 4 race, but I think the last 2 he has a lot to improve on, especially against Starry Night, the number 4 with Zach Purton. But I think the last 2 races, he does have that winning run and turn of foot. Just couldn't catch him late with Valiant Elegance stealing it on the speed. So I think if there is expected to be probably a lot of speed in this race, I think he can make a somewhat last ditch effort on the turn. So I think winning Icy for me, number 7, race number 4.
Yeah, so Joe's best bet will be race 4, number 6, winning IC. I think that this time, Everett Chen takes the ride. It is good to take away some weight for the horse because on his last 2 starts, we see that he chased quite well with some great turn of foot in the home stretch. And at this time, carrying just 125 pounds will be quite ideal for him. And for me, my best bet will be in race 3. It is a class 4 over 1600 meters. I like number 5, Baby, because he used to be a 3-time 1200 meters winner before. However, on his recent 2 starts over this course and distance, he is doing quite well, very close to the winner. And I think that at the current rating of 53, he is quite competitive. I'm looking forward to see him bounce back. And also this time he will be breaking from gate 3, which enables him to stay in a great position. Maybe he will be the leader or even stay behind the leader, which will also be quite suitable for him. And it is good to see that Anton Hamlin will be ridden again because he is a good jockey for this horse. He knows the horse quite well. And I think that he will also be suitable for a soft ground. So number 5, Baby, in race 3 will be my best bet. So to recap our best bets on Wednesday at Happy Valley, race 9, number 2, Lucky Swing is for Sarah, and race 1, number 5, Jolly Forever for Steve. Race 4, number 7, Winning Icy for Joe, and race 3, number 5, Baby for me. So let's talk about our value bet on Wednesday. Sarah, who will you have for your value bet?
I'm coming in a race 3, which is a class 4 over the 1650. And I'm going with, excuse me, the 4, Nimble Nimbus. Now we get Lyle aboard this time, who, Bentley's been riding this horse quite a bit. We had Poon on one time. Now we're getting Lyle, who's been in exceptional form as a rider. And I think maybe this switch up here, we'll be able to see a nice win. This horse only has 1 win this season so far, but with the draw here, I think this is the best draw that he could have gotten. It sets him up perfectly. They're continuing with the equipment changes they tried out last race, and we'll see how he continues with those. But he does get a teeny bit of a weight break here, which I think with everything compiling up between Lyle, the draw, and that weight break, we're going to see this horse really perform nicely, compete exceptionally well, and hopefully get him that 2nd win this season.
Yes, so Sarah's value bet will be race 3, number 4, Nimble Nimbus. I think that recently he's doing quite well over Happy Valley, and this time jumping from a good draw, having quite a good chance on Wednesday. And Steve, can you remind us who will be your value bet?
Yes, race number 6, number 9, Happy Gathering. Drawn 7 under Joe Moreira. It's a wide open race, but that's the kind of race that you want a value bet, just take a slight chance. I think Bingo has a good chance, but he's conceding weight to everyone, and they Spicy Grill, Kokoshimo, lots of horses. But Happy Gathering, yes, he's won from 13. He won on his 9th start. I thought he would have another win or 2 by this time. Doesn't seem to have really pushed on as I thought he might, but Joe Moreira can bring the best out of horses. And he actually won on Wednesday on board one of Manfred Mann's horses on Red Ulysses, of course, who I didn't really give a chance to. And but Red Ulysses, no spring chicken, 9 years old now, I think, and managed to win. So good on him. And so hopefully he can also have this effect on Happy Gathering and do a nice bit of improvement there. And he hasn't run badly on his 4 starts since winning. He just hasn't really been fantastic, and he's actually come down 2 pounds for his last race, so he's now just 3 pounds above his last winning mark, so he's quite competitive, and they hope we'll get some decent odds on Happy Gathering in race number 6.
Yes, so Steve's value bet race 6, number 9, Happy Gathering. I think that he is quite consistent, never beating for by a long margin. And this time, good to have Joe Moreira on board. The price currently is $17. It is quite attractive for a Joe Moreira's mount. And Joe, how about you? Who will you select for your value bet?
My value bet is going to be in race number 8, and that is going to be the number 2 Roman Turbo. Now, as they were recording the Racing to Win show, he was actually the favorite, but now he's drifted from $3.90 to $8.60.
Yes.
Now the favorite's going to be number 8, Never Too Soon. So you can make a case for Roman Turbo. Look at like all the horses that he's raced against. Lucky Suiziness, Sarah's best bet on the next race. Seizing the Moment, California 10, California Spangle, California Deep Shot. Cheerful Days, all these ones that have been really doing really well this season. But his last race, all of his races, he's been in double digits as far as odds go. So now he goes back to like a $8.90. He hasn't drawn exceptionally well at Happy Valley. He's had a 10, and then an 11. So now he gets a somewhat better draw, a number 7. I think he has a chance in this race, considering even though this field does look a little tough and he is going to carry the 60 kilos. I think the gate 7 is going to be a little bit better for him because he almost beat Seizing the Moment at $31 on draw number 11. So going back down to the 1200 looks like it's going to be better suited for him. The last couple of times he's been at Charene, 1400, 1600, 1650. So I think that this might be his race. I think this is going to be his time. Roman Turbo number 2 for me in race number 8.
Yes, quite wide open in race 8. So Joe's value bet will be number 2, Roman Turbo. I think that's slightly a better draw for him. And then I think that his performance last time out was really impressive. And my value bet will be in race 6, number 7, Yichang Warrior. As we just discussed in race 6, I believe that he is doing quite well after backing from Chongfa. And then this time he can take advantage of the gate 3 to stay in a good position. And if the pace in race 6 will be a bit fast, so it will be also favorable for Yichang Warrior. So let's recap our value bet on Wednesday. Race 3, number 4, Nimble Nimbus for Sarah, and race 6, number 9, Happy Gathering for Steve, race 8, number 2, Roman Turbo for Joe, and race 6 for me again, number 7, Yichang Warrior. So that's all for our selection on this Wednesday at Happy Valley. Hopefully we can bring you some winner, and hopefully what I'm praying now is the weather will be going to be fine, because to be honest, I don't like raining. It will be making the card very tough. So hopefully tomorrow the weather will be fine, and good luck to you. See you next time. Bye-bye.